was supposed to be a clip at the bottom. Like, no, really, it just wasn't over there.
So you fixed the kidney.
I just fixed the kidney grill right now.
Take off the list.
Well, I didn't write it on the list.
Oh, we need a new list.
It wasn't, well, you have to write it on the list, then you can cross it out.
So I think we're pushing about 250 horse, which for a car this size is a lot.
Like rear end breaking loose.
It'll break loose.
Yeah.
Don't go to any crappier of a tire. Okay, so you got the Brembo brake package, you got these like 3-piece wheels.
Cheap tires.
Cheap tires. It's just like, you're living a lie because your car, like all the upgrades that you just did, they can't handle the stock power of the car.
Yeah.
Like they're crap.
Basically, you're a turbo person.
Yeah, sure, they cost money, but it's not that much money for what you get out of it.
The only thing keeping you on the road, it's important to talk about the whole premise behind buying an E30. For Josh and I, also, there's a family connection in the fact that our grandfather used to drive BMWs. And so we didn't know him very well when we were kids, but he would drive out to Western Canada to paint. And he would drive out in these BMWs every few years. He would go on, it was basically a painting trip. So he would drive out. He used to paint old barns and sort of old Western scenes. So he had a 2002, and then he had an E21 320i, and that's the one I remember the most. I think he drove out twice with that one in the 1980s. So he was an interesting guy. Most people say that he was difficult, near impossible to live with.
That's why nobody lived with them.
That's why nobody lived with him. But we thought he was great.
The wily ones are always the most interesting.
Yeah. So he kind of had a persona. It's like this artist, he would come out, he had the cool BMW. He would always get us something when he came on for a visit, like Adidas tracksuits.
Yep.
So that's kind of the connection that we have with our granddad and these BMWs.
Now we have to do this in tracksuits. We have to go get blue and white Adidas tracksuits.
Blue and yellow. Wasn't yours blue and yellow?
I don't remember.
That's the one I got, was blue and yellow. Now his E21, when he passed away, so he lived in Montreal, so I did have a discussion with my Uncle Joe, who we'll have to bring on here sometime too to talk about our granddad and the BMWs. Uncle Joe was also a bit of a car aficionado. And there was a question what to do with the E21, but like most cars in Eastern Canada, it was completely rusted out,
rotted,
and not worth saving.
Well, for me, there's Granddad, but also Jeff Foreman.
Jeff Foreman.
Yeah. That 85 318i.
This is the third or fourth E30 we've kind of had in the family.
Yeah, I had a red sedan. That was a 325i that had some IS parts on it.
Okay.
It's a red sedan. It's gorgeous, but I had to sell it because the wiring harness was janked on it, and it was gorgeous, but yeah, the wiring harness, like, it would just die. The car would just die, and it needed all new brakes, like everything in the braking department. And I was just like, I had too many projects at the time, so I just cut that one loose. Yeah, but it was mint.
And so I lived down in DC for a little while. That was the other one we had, was an 87 E30 convertible, which
was a 325 manual, right?
No, it was an auto.
It was an auto.
Yeah, we never swapped it. A beautiful set of BBS RSs.
For like 15 by 7.5 or something?
Yeah. And those were great. And I sold that car probably for half as much as what those rims are worth now.
Yeah. And I do remember making a point. Keep the wheels.
Kept the wheels?
Keep the wheels, Nathan. Keep the wheels.
My current BMW E30 is a 1988 Euro 320i, which will show up on this channel.
Yeah.
I'm going to swap the Werkstatt turbo here for that one. We're doing some work on the convertible, the Eurovert we call it. Yeah, that one's kind of nice. It has all the Euro bumpers and the Euro chrome. It has the 15-inch Euro weave EBSs. Yep. It's a 320, so it's got the inline 6 2-liter, which we're going to leave in it. Only has 70,000 kilometers on it. We can't live with the automatic transmission.
And like, it's a convertible. Like, you can increase the power in and do all this. It's convertible. The chassis is a wet noodle. Trying to make any real power out of it, making it into like a sports car. It's like, forget it. Just enjoy it. Let it be a cruiser. Let it be a cool car.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice Sunday car, but it does need a 5-speed transmission.
And the other wheels that were on the Del Sol will probably end up on that.
This one's going to be perfect. So this car, the Turbo V30, is a little bit of a, I wouldn't call it a sleeper per se because it's got the 16s, but it is a pretty subtle car. We're liking the Euro Japanese import vibe.
Yeah, yeah. So like you have the convertible, which is like a Euro import. You got the sedan, which is a Japanese import, and they both have kind of like their little idiosyncrasies.
It's got 139,000 K on it.
Yeah,
It's never been in an accident. We have the we got the full workup from both Japan and since it's been in Canada.
Well, that's the main thing. Like this car has never been hit. There's no claims ever since new. You're not gonna have all these little problems. You're not gonna have bodywork problems or filler or. It needs almost no money at all. A couple of little things. It's mostly just labor, finishing up some wiring, tying up some loose ends, dialing in some things, the alignment, whatever else.
Tuner Studio, update later. Open last project. Okay, so here's our stuff connecting. I gotta see the throttle cable. See, Accelerate Rich isn't enabled.
Yeah.
So basically, when you push the accelerator, it should enrich before it sees a manifold pressure change. Otherwise, there'll be a dip before it sees the change.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's all turned off. Throttle position. Slowly push that down. More. Okay, so we have a full throttle position. Okay, cool. So I can actually do the throttle enrichment.
All right, so we're just playing with the GPS-based acceleration enrichment.
Well, that's the best, yeah.
That's pretty good. Now do more of a normal one that you would normally do. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, it got worse on both sides of this, so I think that's it. You gotta figure out how to make idle better. I think that's it.
That's it.
Okay, that's what we're doing. If you don't like it, go watch something else.
Remember to like and subscribe. If you don't like it,